Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It's me, msmoe. So in this video, I'm going to be folding clothes and just talking about something that I realized today because of like some recent news that it was just like a whole bunch of things that I just started to click. And I don't know. I kind of just wanted to sit in that silence just for a little bit, but it was like a whole bunch of things that just started to click, and I'm like, God, are you showing me something? Um, and I think what God is showing me is that I'm ready to step into this space that I've been trying so hard to get to when it came to like what I wanted my career to look like. Um, and yeah, so just to provide more context, as y'all know, I work a 9 to 5 job. I work in a nonprofit sector. One of my goals for working in the nonprofit sector was to become a development officer, um, or work in development. And then from doing that type of work, I started to do more work in like administrative things. So now my focus is like, I love doing administrative things, but I also love working in development. And the fact that I just said that out loud, because I try not to say love to things about things because, you know, in the Bible it says, love nothing of this earth or like something along those lines. So, and I don't like to attach love to like things like that. Like I love people, but not tangible or, you know, materialistic type of things or like stuff like that. So hopefully that makes sense. But and if it doesn't, oh well. But but yeah, but I love working in development, like, and I love doing administrative things. But going back to the development aspect of it, see, I'm supposed to be folding clothes. Going back to the development aspect of it, um, I just I'm currently working in a development department right now, and you know things come up within the department, and I'm like, oh yeah, I used to do stuff like that. Then I saw an email come in, and the thing that I was representing for in that moment was when it came to um, gift entry or gift entry into a CRM or a database that manages gifts that you receive from funders or donors, however you want to refer to them as. And I was like, oh yeah, I used to do that. And then I was like, then I was looking at like the other aspect of development, you know, and that could involve basically giving the donor a receipt, and what that is referred to as is gift acknowledgement letters. Like, yeah, I used to manage that. I used to do that as well. And then I was thinking about like, oh, like when it comes to doing solicitation, direct mail solicitation. So that involves sending a letter in the mail and asking people for money. I'm like, oh yeah, I used to manage that process too somewhere else. And I'm like, dang, that's crazy. But knowing all of this, I still didn't consider myself like a development officer. Because I'm like, that's just admin stuff. Like, and it's so, in my mind, it's like, it's just so basic that it's just like, no, there's not an art to it. It's just, a text message came in. It's not an art to it. It's just something that you do, and you do it in a timely manner. So I didn't think that too much of it. And then, because to me, in my mind, what qualified as a development officer is getting that shmoney. Okay. How can I get people to give me money based off of the work that I'm doing? How can I get them to see my vision, see the vision, meet me there through financial support, you know? And so that's what I consider the development officer to be. And so if I couldn't do that, if I couldn't schmooze my way, or if I couldn't just give you the facts and say this is the problem, this is where funding can um, support fixing this problem, and this is what we need from you. If I can't do that, then I am not a development officer. That's what I kept telling myself. If I can't do that, then I am not that. And so I strive to become that. I was like, I need to be able to write a grant. I need to know how to write a grant. On top of knowing how to write a grant, I need to know how to do an event. Like, I need to be able to know how to coordinate or like manage fundraising events, you know, because that's part of the schmoozing process of getting money from donors. And I'm like, I also need to know how to talk to people, meet people like one-on-one, and just talk, like not necessarily get money from them, because even though that is the goal, but to just kind of see where they are at. And so, like, in terms of like what social issues they want to invest in, that's the way I see it. That's my approach to it. Yes, you can be buying all these things, but wouldn't it be even better if you put that money that you were going to buy those things with, put it into this organization and have such a big impact, just based off of the dollars that you transferred from one thing to another? Wouldn't it be even more amazing? Then on top of that, depending on who you donated to, on the type of entity you donated to, you get a tax write-off. Isn't that grand? Isn't that lovely, actually? There's so many things that your little dollars are, the reward is just multiplying, you know? You know? So yeah. But that was my logic. Like, if I'm not doing all those things to convince somebody um to give money towards an organization, then I don't consider myself a development officer. So I would strive to do those things. I recently was remembered of something, and that's kind of like how I'm starting to see how God is showing up. And I don't even need all of that to see it, but just like, damn, I'm on a good path right now. Or I'm on the path that I need to be on. And the thing what made me say that was that, like, I'm realizing all these things. Like, although I, quote unquote, don't see myself as a development officer just yet, I know a lot of things about development. I know a lot of things about fundraising and what that entails. So even though I'm realizing these things, I haven't given myself that title yet of you are a development officer. And so, but then when I'm realizing all these things, a negative thought popped into my head. And it was a negative thought from a former supervisor who basically told me I don't have what it takes to be in this particular field because I'm an introvert. I don't fuck with a lot of people. And when I'm at work, I work. I'm not here to make friends. If a connection occurs, great. You are meant to be in my life. Either, you are meant to be in my life for this moment in time or for the rest of my life. But I'm not social like that. When I am social, I have to prep. I have to prepare. Like, I need at least 2 weeks to a month to figure out if I'm going to talk to you, you know? So that's how I work. Um, but in all seriously, I'm an introvert. So I don't fuck with a lot of people. I'm not the, hey, no. I'm about to say, hey, and just keep it moving. But my supervisor at the time, she told me, I think she was telling me this news maybe when she was letting me go, like maybe when I was getting fired or laid off. Um, but I think it was around that time. Either way, I know she said it to me because I wouldn't think of something this mean to say to myself. Like, you know, you can be mean to yourself, but like not to that extent. Like that was my whole dream. If my whole career dream was like, yeah, I'm gonna be a development officer. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm moving because of this dream. I would not tell myself, oh, then you don't have what it takes. I wouldn't do that to me. That's dumb. And so she said it. She basically said that I don't have the personality for it. And I'm like, well, maybe she's right. Maybe I don't have the personality for it. And so from using that as an excuse to um, to just keep myself like in the shadows in a way, like still work in development, but just don't strive too much to be in that limelight or in that light, because as a development officer you have to do face to face, like you have to have that human connection, because again you're asking somebody to invest their money that they worked for, they got somehow, and in the day it's theirs. You're asking them to invest this money into something else that they don't even know if they're gonna like, if it's gonna help or not. So you need to have that human connection. And for her to say to me that my personality does not fit this world, it hurt. And I use that as an excuse to limit myself. But even though I kind of like held on to that negative criticism, because criticism can be, they can be positive criticism. Like you can tell me like, hey, you're a little on the quiet side. In this field, you're gonna have to talk just a little bit more. You don't have to be the loudest in the room, but you are gonna have to just engage more. And so these are some tools that might help with this. That's how that heifer, she a heifer now. That's how she could have. That's how she could have approached that situation. But you know, all supervisors, also all supervisors are not good leaders, and I don't think that she was being a good leader because of what she said to me. But either way, so you know, I stayed in this space, but looking at the money that could be made when you are a development officer and like when you can get money for the organization, you know, I continue to strive for those skill sets in order to become to step into this, to become who I wanted to be in this career space. Um, so even though in the back of my mind I had the thought of I don't have what it takes. The other part of me is just like, but can you just at least try? Like just try. And that's what I've been trying to do. I've been trying to learn how to write grants. I've been trying to be more vocal. Again, it's not the easiest thing for me to do, but I've been trying to do it. Just kind of putting myself out there, like seeing how people in powerful positions, seeing how they move, and kind of imitating them to a certain extent. Like if I see that the power play is let's go out for lunch, or like let's talk, let's meet somewhere, let's just hang out, blah 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 blah. If I see that that's the move, then although I'm an introvert, I'm gonna say to myself, okay, you know how to put yourself out there. You know, it's not like it's impossible to do. It's just a bigger, it's just a little bit harder for you to do it than others. So take your time with it, but still make that initial contact of like reaching out to people, and you know, building up that muscle, that fundraising muscle. So I know this is a long story, but like, and I kind of lost my train of thought. But yeah, so to say all that, I say all that to say that I didn't really believe in myself, and so I continued to strive to become what I wanted to be, even though I didn't really believe that I could do it. Um, and so, but then I would start to see things, kind of going back of like God would reveal things to me, like things will come up, and I'm like, but I know the science behind that. And then it came to, so there I could talk about development, and that's how even the fact that I'm making this video just shows you how I know what I'm talking about. Like I know how to get shit done. I know what I'm talking about when it comes to this particular niche of the nonprofit sector. And like I could talk about this stuff all day, like not all day, but I could talk about it a lot. But like there's two aspects of development. There's different aspects of it actually. But one main one is that I'll just focus on the big one. The one big one is the grant writing. Can you write a grant? Can you write, and a grant, in all honesty, is just a research paper. It's just a research paper with a budget. That is all it is. And that's what I realized. I was like, okay, you telling us like it's the who, what, why, when, how. That's a research paper. You just adding a financial, a financial story to it, just basically saying how in order for you to do this work, to do this research, to do this research project, you're going to need money. This is how we want to use the money. That's basically what a grant is. I mean, to write a grant, that's what it entails. You're just basically doing a research project, writing a research paper. And so, I was like, I need to strengthen my grant writing skills. So I look at grant writers. I see how they write. I see like, I just become more involved with it. I even try it myself. Because I'm like, even though this woman told me that I kind of don't have what it takes to be in this space, like, I serve an almighty God. So, I'm hearing the criticism, and I'm still leaning on it because I'm still holding myself back. But it's gonna be a lean, and it's just gonna be a little walk. I'm still gonna inch my way over to where I'm trying to get to, and hopefully I'll stand up straight and walk with a little more confidence as I'm going to these places. But, I'm still gonna, like, who are you? It's basically like, who are you? Because God has the final answer, in my opinion. So I started looking at the grant writing. Then I'm looking at how the people are writing the grants. Then I had that realization that, writing a grant is just like writing a research paper. And I've written a lot of research papers. So I can write a grant. Like, I can do that. And then on top of that, having the practice of writing grants, um, and seeing how sometimes it don't go. Like sometimes it's just a no, and then sometimes it's like it's a full on yes. Like what you ask for us, we will give to you. Sometimes it's a semi yes of like, yeah, you got it, but we're just not gonna give you that much. And so like I'm looking at these different aspects of development that I have been a part of. And then I received some good news about a grant that I was working on, and that the organization that I'm part of was awarded. And although the amount was small, the it served such a big purpose. And it was that validation from God that I know the God won't say this silly, but bitch, you got this. I've seen how you've moved. I've put you based off of what you desired. What you've desired. I've put you in places for you to witness how things work based off of what you wanted for yourself. You yourself, you yourself have even engaged in the work of trying to become. Man, I'm about to cry. You yourself, I ain't gonna cry though, but you yourself have engaged in the work of trying to become who you want to become. And what the news that you just received, that was me telling you, if you haven't been hearing me enough, that was me telling you that, girl, you got this. It's time for you to fly. It's time for you to crank it up. Throw that old train of thought away of you're not meant to be in this space because you don't act like everybody else. Throw away that train of thought and get to the work. Because what I put in your heart to do, what I put in your heart to do at this moment in time, I need you to do that. Because everything that you have witnessed, from what you've studied in school to the people that you've interacted with to the places that you've worked, even the part-time jobs, even those restaurant jobs help you understand customer service, but it also helps you understand how to be focused on the priority, focus on the person. Because when you work these restaurant jobs, when you are a server or when you are a hostess, particularly when you are a server, your priority is your guests. Apply that same concept when it comes to fundraising, because y'all both trying to get money. If you look at a server and a fundraiser or a development officer, y'all both trying to get money at the end of the day. It's just the way that you do it. And so, but your priority is that guest. Keep your eyes on that guest. Meet them where they need to be met. And so, like, that validation that I received just made me say to myself, yes, I'm very grateful for the validation. I ain't even gonna lie. Okay. I am very grateful for the validation. But the thing that I also want to recognize, and I'm almost about to be done with this video, but the thing that I also want to recognize is that I was already who I was trying to be. I was already a development officer. Like I said before, there's so many different things when it comes to fundraising. You gotta know how to market. You gotta know communication. You gotta have that customer service type of attitude. You gotta be on that person, on those people. Like you need to know how to build partnerships. Bruh, development encompasses so much, and I've been involved in so many different aspects of it. How dare I deny myself of that title and ultimately that confidence to move in spaces that I know that I can show up in. And so, yeah, I haven't even been folding clothes, y'all. So, yeah, the validation, like I said before, was great. But it was just another thing that I realized this morning was that I didn't need it like that. You know, like it wasn't the thing that I it I already knew what I was talking about. And it took me to like kind of step back and like kind of see like, damn, if I continue to grow, not even if I continue to grow in this field, I'm I'm a little bit afraid to say it. Like, I'm kind of on that. I'm definitely on a professional level, but if I continue to soak up information, get heavy in this particular arena of the nonprofit sector, like, I can be a fucking expert. And that's a wild thing for me to even say, because again, going back to that comment of, and the reason why that comment hurt so much was because I was just starting off in my career. This was my supervisor, and in her effort to, I guess, help me, she told me that, but that wasn't really help. So it's like, kind of like you're meeting your hero or some, I don't know, you're meeting somebody very important for the first time, and they just like, yeah, but you ain't shit though. That's the kind of feeling that I got from that conversation. So that's why I keep referring back to it. But to look at that moment and to say, wow, I could be an expert in this field. And I kind of want to be, you know, because when it comes to fundraising, being a development officer, whatever, you see a lot of, it's the caucasity of it all, you know? It's a lot of Caucasians and a lot of males. But as somebody that likes making money, okay? And if, like, for somebody that likes making money and like being in this space, like helping people, and as a melanated woman, like, I want to see more people that look like me, because my perspective on fundraising is so fucking different. It's fundraising from a minority perspective is very different, because like we have to think about everything. Like, you talk about being in a 9 to 5 space and not and you concerned about your hair, bruh. You asking me for money? You need to come to me correctly. So it's like all these like little small things that you have to consider when you are a not minority, but a melanated or I just say minority. When you're a minority and you're in this particular space where you have to ask people for money. So I would love to become an expert in this field, because why the fuck not? You know? Why can't I? You got all these people, all these mans, all these women's, and the caucasity of it all, for them to be like, this is how you do this. This is how you do that. And I'm like, bruh, be realistic. Like, everybody don't got rich friends. So what? How else you gonna get that money? Like, I know that was definitely like a rant, but at the end of the day, it's just like, why the fuck not can I Like, why can't I become an expert? I want to see more melanated people. I want to see more people of color, Hispanics, indigenous people, Asian people, Southeast Asian people, like Africans, like, I mean, even Europeans too. But, all walks of life in this space because we need it. Like, fundraising is all about human connection, that human interaction. And based off of our ethnicity and our different walks of life, we all interact with people. Like, we all have that unique connection with people. So, I don't know, it could just bring so much more to the table. And it's so frustrating when you look at philanthropy and you just see white people, but under that, white men, but under that, white women. And it's like, come on now. Like, their approach to philanthropy, I don't know. To me, their approach to philanthropy is a reflection of their privilege. Like, they're speaking from a place of privilege. And the thing that I keep going back to is that the idea of, like, just ask people in your closest circle for some money, to start your business off with. But I'm like, again, what if everybody in my circle don't got money? I know that's another problem of you need to get a bigger circle. But if I'm working on getting a bigger circle, how do I get the money? Like, and so that's why I say that their perspective is still from a place of privilege. And therefore, when they talk about philanthropy and they talk about fundraising, it's speaking from a place of, like, you already know somebody who got money. And, like, for minority people or people, like, not all minorities, but, like, people of color, like, sometimes that is not the case. Like, and even for, Caucasian people, that may not be the case. So, like, speak from a realistic point of view. But I'm saying all that to say that you won't be able to get that full scope of how to fundraise if you don't have multiple experts from multiple ethnicities and multiple walks of life talking on this subject. So, yeah, why not? Why the fuck not? Can I become an expert in this field? Like, even if I do got a little ghetto twang to it, it is what it is. Yeah, but okay. I've been talking for too long, and I have barely even folded my clothes. But that is all. I mean, that's really all for this video. Like, I just want to say that, sometimes you really just have to step back and see that, like, the person that you're trying to be, you may already be them. It's just really giving yourself permission to say, I am this person. I am a development officer. So when I'm applying for jobs or doing whatever, I don't need to be saying, oh, I would like to grow into this position or into this title. I'm already that fucking title. What you mean? I'm already that. I would like to, build upon my knowledge, because why wouldn't you? But to portray myself to others as if I don't know anything, and I would like to grow into this title. I can't be doing that no more. That's a lie that I'm telling them and I'm telling myself. So, and that may be a lie that you are telling other people, that, you're not that, but you are. You are. Give yourself the title and continue to work to be that version of that title that you want to see. Like, I want to be the development officer that when I walk into a space, when I walk into an organization, they already know. Money will follow. Because I'm going to get you right. I want to get you right. Whether it is fixing up your systems and your workflows, or whether it's writing a grant, or it's whether it is managing how you want to solicit to people. Like, when they see me, when I step into the room, they already know that money will follow. Like that's what I want to see. That's who I want to be. Um and yeah. So all in all, I want to say, recognize who you are. You may not say, "Oh, I'm not. I haven't done this yet, so I can't say I'm that." Recognize where you are and how much you do know, and the thing that you feel like you're hanging on to that's going to like solidify the thing for you. You already know that's going to come. So don't limit yourself and say that. Don't limit yourself and say that, like, kind of like, man, I wish it would happen. It is going to happen, because all the information that you know thus far is going to propel you to becoming that new, or it's going to propel you to having those skills to do that thing that you want to do, to give you that title that you're aiming for. So, oh, sorry about that. But yeah, but that's about it for this video. Thank you all for watching my videos so far, because this is a long one and I'm not going to edit it. My computer basically don't even have one. But no, my computer is broken. I need a new computer. So I'm not editing my videos. It's just like whatever I'm saying, it's just going to be coming to y'all like this. So like, yeah, it is what it is. But okay. But thank you.